Hey everybody, John Swift here, John Swift Live. It's very bright, so I may be squinty today because I'm sort of staring at the bright sky, and that's why I got my hat on. Bet you're wondering where we are today. Today we were sitting, we are sitting on a train car. Let's spin the camera around down there. You can see there's part of the train's connection system, and right behind me, I'll widen out here, you can see a door here. This train car is actually part of the Historical Society of Venice, I guess. I'm gonna widen out here so you can see the train. It's a train car that's been set up with a little deck out here. I'm not sure what reason. It's kind of far away, but it's neat the way they kind of preserve this. I don't think you'd normally see a train car. Sorry, I'll speak on this side. See a train car. Looking at that and see what that says. Seaboard Railroad Air Line through the heart of the South. This building, like I said before, is the Historical Society. Look at that. It's got some of the, I don't know what you call this, but it's got a steering wheel here. It's not a steering wheel. I'm sure it's it says hand wheel off on. I'm sure it's more of a brake. And unfortunately, there's nobody. There's us right there, and there's nobody in the office. But it looks like a really cool little office. It looks like they have some period desks in there and things. I don't know if it's too dark to see on camera or not. It's hard to say. But this train really is neat. Where I live in Sarasota, the trains don't really run there. I say don't really because they don't. Occasionally, I think they will run through there to dump cars or something, but they don't really run as opposed to like a train run. Look at this. They actually have a little elevator lift for, I guess, for wheelchair people, which I've never seen that before because this is up off the ground. For people that need to get their wheelchair on and off the deck, they have this little thing here that's a elevator. So we'll get off and I'll take a little wider look up the train. Yeah, it looks like a phone booth. Look at that. It's a personal elevator for people with wheelchairs or disabilities. Look at this cool train. And you know, as the case with a lot of videos I've been doing lately, boy, it's right on the sidewalk. Wow, I'm really squinty now. Sorry, I'm very squinty. As the case with a lot of videos I've been doing lately, there's always construction or a fly flying in my eye. Right there, construction breaking up some kind of concrete over in that direction there. You know, I don't know what was there, but it's a lot of concrete. They're breaking up something. If I haven't mentioned, we are in Venice, Florida, which is a little small town. I wanted to give a quick walk around this train because I'm not fascinated with trains necessarily, but recently I have been interested in trains because of the lack. And I'll give you an explanation, right? A short explanation. When I was a kid, there was a railroad track 2 streets over from my house, and occasionally, you know, we would run over there and watch the train go by, and you could hear it coming. If you ever lived by a train track, can I say track? Train track. If you've ever lived by a train track, the train whistle is so loud that you can hear it a mile or 2 before it comes to you. You can usually hear the train whistling. I have learned through some videos recently that some areas, I thought it was like Lakeland, Florida, they have put an ordinance out that says that you cannot honk your train whistle in a certain area district. And there has been people, I mean, you can look on YouTube, there's people that are getting hit by trains and cars and things, and the reason I think why is maybe because they're not honking the train whistle, or something to do with the I don't know. It's a fascinating subject. It's a whole different video in itself. Anyway, so over here, Okay, we're far away from the train. The train is way over there. And I say train, I should say train car. We are, right here is the historic Venice train depot, which I don't know well, I should just say I don't know the history of the Venice trains. I know that the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus, this was the winter headquarters, was either Venice or Sarasota, and then it moved to Venice. So maybe that's part of the history of the Venice train area, is where the whole circus packed up on the train. And they do have some rails left over here. I don't think they use them anymore, but you can see these rails. Because what they actually started was, they stopped on there, the Legacy Trail, which is actually now a fitness trail that goes all the way to Sarasota, quite a ways, maybe 10 or 20 miles. There's a Venice police car. So, a quick side story about this Venice train depot is that I actually worked like 2 days restoring the train depot, this train depot here. Now I'll go show you where I actually worked. And here's the sad thing is, this depot is a museum also, and they're normally, I guess during the winter hours, they're actually open. But to my luck, I would have it, they're only open Saturdays from like 10 to something. So I'm not sure if this is an original building. This part of the train depot, I think, it's not a huge building or anything, but this part right here, right there, I believe is where I worked doing the decking. What's weird is it's been 2002, maybe 2001, since 2001, since I worked there as a carpenter. But you can see that they've tried to restore this as original as possible. These doors look very much a period like they would be when this place was open. It says it's open in 1927. Here's the museum part, which is really neat looking inside. They've got one of those, I don't know what you call them, hand car. And it looks like they've got some old desks in there. And I think you can a lot of photographs. And they've tried to set it up, I think, like a ticket booth type, train ticket area, which is really nice because we had one in Sarasota, but I think it's completely torn down. So right in this building right there, I'm thinking is, it was higher then because when they used to move the freight and the luggage on and off, it had to be at the same level as the train. So I remember being, I think, in this part of the building. I'm trying to look to see if I can tell if it's up high. I think it is a couple feet up high, maybe 3 or 4 feet. But I remember it was one of my first jobs as a carpenter, and I was working in this part of the depot, and I was trying to figure out how to do 45-degree decking like the original. And also I worked up on the roof up here, and I remember I worked maybe 2 or 3 days as a temporary guy, and then they fired me just before Christmas, which was just awesome. They actually gave us beer after we finished the day, and I'm tempted to get a drink of water. Okay, that kind of went up my nose. So, where am I going with this? Here's another part of the depot where you can see they have lots of train-related materials in there. Looks like they have a uniform over there too, and they talk about some of the things that the train depot did. They have kind of a train bench also. Now it's been repurposed as a bus station type, a bus depot type, and they have a plaque here. So unfortunately, we do not get to go in today. I'm going to have to figure out when I can come back and maybe see some of the museum You know, I guess some people think that trains are antiquated. No, it's a train. But since I grew up around trains, I guess, right near my house, I find it kind of stinks when they're not there. How you doing? It's kind of, unfortunately, they're not running in this area anymore. I don't think they run in Venice at all. And they run in Sarasota. There's a guy back there, but I don't know what he's doing back there. So, but it is neat that there's this history here. And, well, I wanted to get you a look at the hallway because it's kind of neat how this, you can kind of picture people waiting for the train right behind me. Waiting for the train here. And I have ridden trains before. I think maybe only once in the Tampa Bay area or near Sarasota, but definitely in bigger cities I've ridden the train. I've ridden the subway, and when I was in Europe I rode the train there. There's something romantic about trains, you know, like old movies, you see people getting on a train and there's a big love story going on and it's a romantic thing. I kind of wish this bus wasn't here, but oh, there's a guard over there too. There's a guard down there. I'm sure they're wondering what I'm doing. So you can see as you look down this way, there's kind of an awning, like I said, where people probably waited for trains. And here's the tracks. And I think it's just a really neat area. And what makes me a little bit sad is that kids won't get to enjoy that kind of train thing, being able to ride a train. I know there's a lot of, you know, larger cities where actually trains are in larger cities, Pennsylvania, places that I've been, Pennsylvania and things like that. So it makes me, I'm feeling kind of boxed in because there's somebody over here and I'm sure they're wondering what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything illegal, but I just wanted to give you kind of a look at the Venice train depot. It's kind of fun if you ever remember as a kid riding a train, or to bring your kids down and show them what it was like to be at a train depot, you know, and I'm sure it'd be really nice to go in the museum too. So I don't know, it brings back some good childhood memories, is when I used to do things around. We never had a train depot in Sarasota, but I do have some memories riding a train. How's it going? And things like that. So we'll just walk down to the end down here. And if you're wondering exactly where this is, if you wanted to look it up on a map, that's I can't be sure. This is Venice Bridge that goes over Venice Island in Florida. It's a bridge that goes over, and I'm not sure what street this is. If you wanted to search it just out of curiosity, if you wanted to come here, you could probably look up. It looks like Venice Avenue is across street right here. Right there is Venice Avenue. You could probably look up Venice Train Depot or something like that. I'm sure if you Googled it, it would come right out. But there's some neat benches here. I don't know if they're from the period, but still a very cool area. It's perfectly free to come down here if you wanted to see the museum on a Saturday or whatever. It would be neat to come down here. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. The sign up here says Historic Venice Train Depot, Scat Transit Station, 303 East Venice Avenue. So that should get you in the area if you wanted to Google Earth or something like that and check that out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I was in Venice. I was hoping to see this because I haven't been here since I worked on this train depot. So if you haven't subscribed, guys, and you like the video, subscribe so I can see you tomorrow. And most importantly, you guys have a great day. Okay? I'm gonna have to start doing like a PS segment because I keep forgetting stuff on this video. So I did skip right across this statue behind me of Gunter Gebel Williams, 1934 to 2001. And with my limited knowledge, he was a circus performer, lived in Venice, starting at 69. This plaque down here, this plaque, doesn't say, but I remember him being an animal trainer, like a lion tamer or something like that. It says he lived down here, and he set a record for entertaining 2 million people, which is cool. But that's also in this nice park. And you can also see this, a really great statue actually. I would be proud if I had a statue like that. It's a great statue. So I just wanted to, that's a little snippet for the end here, because I already said goodbye. So I'm saying, I'm not going to say goodbye, that's just a snippet. P.S. Gunther Gable-Williams statue.